It's time now for Lilith Lovecraft's Pro Wrestling Report.
That's right, we're coming to you with all of your pro wrestling news and reviews you could ever possibly need on this May 17th. Beginning as we always do on this day in pro wrestling history, 55 years ago today in New York City, Bruno Sammartino defeated Buddy Rogers in just 48 seconds to win the WWF Championship. The win begins an unprecedented championship period for Sammartino. He holds the title for the remainder of the 1960s before losing it to Ivan Koloff on the 18th of January 1971. 2,803 days later. By far the longest championship reign in WWE history. 32 years ago today in Hammond, Indiana, Playboy Buddy Rose and Pretty Boy Doug Somers defeated Scott Hall and Curt Hennig by countout to win the AWA World Tag Team Championship. Though it was later explained that for this match the championship would change hands via countout, no specific reason was given why. 32 years ago today in Baltimore, Maryland, Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, defeated Baron Von Raschke and the Koloffs, Ivan and Nikita, to win the NWA Six-Man Tag Team Championship. 26 years ago today, the WCW presented Wrestle War 92 from Jacksonville Coliseum in Jacksonville, Florida, with about 6,000 in attendance and 105,000 homes buying on pay-per-view. That was down from 150,000 homes for Super Brawl 1, the event held in May of 1991. Some matches from that card: Brian Pillman defeated Tom Zenk to retain the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship. The Steiner Brothers defeated Tatsumi Fujinami and Takayuki Iizuka to become the #1 contenders for the IWGP Tag Team Championship. And Sting's Squadron defeated the Dangerous Alliance in a War Games match. The bout was awarded 5 stars by Wrestling Observer Newsletter, the second straight Wrestle War main event that got such a rating. 25 years ago today, on Monday Night Raw from New York City, Marty Jannetty returns to the WWF as a surprise challenger for Shawn Michaels' Intercontinental Championship. Jannetty hadn't been seen in the company since the Royal Rumble in January, when he was fired after that Royal Rumble due to poor performance against Michaels, allegedly because he was under the influence. Thanks to Mr. Perfect, who behind the scenes helped Jannetty return to the company, Jannetty defeated his former tag team partner to win the WWF Intercontinental Championship. On the undercard, the Kid defeated Razor Ramon in what was still considered one of the biggest upsets in WWE history. Post-match, Randy Savage led the crowd in a chant of 1, 2, 3 towards Ramon. Naturally, he would soon be known as the 1, 2, 3 Kid, and the name stuck until he left the company in 1996. 23 years ago today, in a WWF Action Zone taping in Springfield, Massachusetts, Savio Vega makes his WWF in-ring debut with a win over Eli Blue. 21 years ago today in Buffalo, New York, Terry Funk defeated Raven, Stevie Richards, and the Sandman in an elimination match to retain the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, and during the bout, Funk dropped a steel barrier onto Richard, injuring his back and neck. It would turn out to be his last bout with ECW, as he announced his retirement soon after. But his retirement lasted all of 2 months. In July, Richard appeared on Nitro, confronting former best friend and recent signee Raven. Richards officially signed with the WCW in August, but was released in October after failing a physical. 20 years ago today, the WCW presented Slamboree from the Worcester Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts, with 11,000 592 in attendance, and 275,000 homes watching on pay-per-view. That was up from 220,000 homes for the 1997 edition. Some matches from that card. Eddie Guerrero defeated Ultimo Dragon. Goldberg defeated Perry Saturn to retain the WCW United States Championship. Bret Hart defeated Macho Man Randy Savage by disqualification, with Rowdy Roddy Piper as the special referee. And Sting and the Giant defeated the Outsiders of Kevin Nash and Scott Hall to win the WCW World Tag Team Championship. 9 years ago today, the WWE presented Judgment Day from the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, with 14,822 in attendance and 228,000 homes watching on pay-per-view. That was down from 252,000 homes for the 2008 event. Some matches from that card. Batista defeated Randy Orton by disqualification in a WWE Championship match. Rey Mysterio defeated Chris Jericho to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship. John Cena defeated The Big Show. And Edge defeated Jeff Hardy to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. 8 years ago today, on Raw from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Bret Hart defeated The Miz via submission in a no disqualification match to win the WWE United States Championship. It would be Hart's first major championship win since Bret won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship back in '99. 7 years ago today, at an Impact Wrestling taping in Universal Orlando, Eric Young defeated Gunner to win the TNA Television Championship. 6 years ago today, TNA announces via press release that Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan's daughter, signed a deal with TNA. The reality star, singer, actress would only last a year within the company before being released due to budget cuts. 6 years ago today, NXT held its very first TV taping from the Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. A few of the recordings included Tyson Kidd defeating Michael McGillicuddy by submission, Derek Bateman defeating Johnny Curtis, and Jinder Mahal defeating Derek Bateman by submission. 5 years ago today, the WWE cleans house in their developmental program to coincide with the opening of their performance center in Orlando. Given their walking papers were Derek Bateman, the winner of NXT Redemption, Ryan Nemeth, the younger brother of then World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler, Percy Watson, a member of the NXT Season 2 cast, Brandon Traven, a Harley Race protege in Missouri, Audrey Marie, and Sakamoto, who was paired with Tensai in 2012. Of those releases, only Watson, real name Nicholas McNeil, was returned to the company. He returned in November of 2017 as a commentator for NXT, or 2016 as a commentator for NXT. 4 years ago today, Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling co-presented War of the World from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. Some matches from that card. Adam Cole defeated Jushin Liger to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. And AJ Styles defeated Kazuchika Okada and Michael Elgin in a three-way match to retain the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. 3 years ago today, the WWE presented Payback from the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, with about 10,000 in attendance and 54,000 homes watching via traditional pay-per-view. Some matches from that card. Naomi and Tamina Snuka defeated the Bella Twins. Neville defeated King Barrett by countout. And Seth Rollins defeated Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns in a fatal four-way match to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We have two birthdays today. It's a happy 51st birthday to Lori Fullington. Lori's best known for her time in ECW as Peaches. Lori was revealed to be the Sandman's wife in her second ECW run in 1996 during the Sandman's feud with Raven, where the latter brainwashed her and her son Tyler. The family reconciled in '97 after Raven turned on the Fullingtons. Lori's last involvement with ECW came in 2000 during the Sandman's feud with the network, where in a span of 4 months she was gored through a table, pile-driven into a table, got a swirly on pay-per-view, all at the hands of Rhino. A happy birthday to Lori, and it's also a happy 69th birthday for twin referees Earl and Dave Hebner. Dave began refereeing in the Richmond area in the late 1970s, while Earl got his start with Jim Crockett Promotions. Dave was most famous for refereeing the Randy Savage vs. Ricky Steamboat match at WrestleMania 3, where Earl is best known for refereeing the I Quit match between Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard in 1985, and the first ever televised War Game match in 1987. Earl, of course, was the third man in the ring during the infamous Montreal Screwjob in November of 1997. Because of his role in the incident, he was chastised for years, especially in Canada. Earl and Bret have spoken to one another about the incident and revealed in a 2011 interview that he and Bret have since buried the hatchet. The Hebners were released in July of 2005 after getting busted for allegedly selling counterfeit WWE merchandise. They would both land in TNA, Dave in December of 2005 and Earl in February of 2006. Earl is still refereeing for the company today. Earl's son Brian is also a referee for TNA, and his daughter Katie is training to become a wrestler. Dave is also still in the business, managing the Lumberjacks in the Mid-Michigan Wrestling Association, and Earl was inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame in 2015. On to some news. Ronda Rousey wrestled in her first ever house show event in Geneva, Switzerland yesterday afternoon. Rousey made the hot tag in a match where she teamed up with Natalya and Ember Moon to take on the team of Mickie James, Liv Morgan, and Ruby Riott. Rousey took out Morgan on the outside and then took out James and Riott with judo maneuvers and strikes in the corner. Rousey took down James and then applied the armbar for the quick submission. The match in Geneva was originally set to be a singles match pitting Rousey against James, but apparently something happened that led to the match being changed to that 6-woman tag team match instead. Rousey's first single match instead appears to be for the Raw Women's title, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And she and Nia Jax were both at the NBC Universal Upfronts in New York this past Monday, where Jax challenged Rousey to a match, which she eventually accepted. That match will, of course, take place on the 17th of June at Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Also, Ronda Rousey will be making her United Kingdom in-ring debut when WWE returns to London this August. During the SmackDown tapings at the O2 Arena this week, it was announced that Rousey would be wrestling at Raw's house show at the venue on August 29th. An opponent for Rousey was not named in the announcement. Rousey made her house show debut in Geneva. She will also be in action in Vienna, Austria today, Turin, Italy on Friday, and Paris, France on Saturday. Rousey's only televised match thus far has been when she teamed with Kurt Angle against Stephanie McMahon and Triple H back at WrestleMania 34. But again, she'll be challenging Nia Jax for her Raw Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. That match set up by Jax and Rousey's at Upfront on Monday. I just think it's ridiculous that your first two televised matches are at WrestleMania and then for the Raw Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. Talk about having a silver spoon. The first 8 wrestlers have been announced for WWE's next United Kingdom Championship tournament. WWE revealed yesterday that Zach Gibson, Joey Coffey, Jack Gallagher, Dave Mastiff, Kenny Williams, El Ligero, Joseph Connors, and Amir Jordan will be taking part in the 16-man tournament. The first round matches will take place at the Download Festival on the 8th through the 10th of June, and the winners will be advancing to Royal Albert Hall on the 18th. The wrestler who wins the tournament will challenge for Pete Dunne's WWE United Kingdom Championship during the second night at Royal Albert Hall on the 19th of June. Uncle Dave Meltzer reported this past Monday that Kofi, Mastiff, and Ligero were among the UK wrestlers that the WWE had been attempting to sign in recent weeks, and Gibson agreed to deal with the company earlier this year. Williams made his WWE debut at the episode of 205 Live in a failed four-way match this week with Tyler Bate, Kalisto, and TJP. The remaining 8 participants for the tournament will be announced this Friday. New Japan Pro Wrestling hit another milestone yesterday morning by selling out Osaka-jo Hall. This is so awesome with everything going on with All In and now New Japan. I'm just so excited about everything outside of the world of WWE. So New Japan made the announcement on Twitter yesterday morning. The building Osaka-jo Hall holds around 16,000 people, though that does change to around 13,500 when stages are set up for boxing and wrestling. It would be the first time New Japan has sold out an arena since moving Dominion from the Bodymakers Coliseum to Osaka-jo Hall for the 2015 Dominion show, which is where the show has been held every year since then. Last year's Dominion attendance was around about 11,756. Dominion usually winds up being one of the strongest cards New Japan puts together all year, featuring a number of high-profile title matches. The fourth bout between Kenny Omega and IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada will headline this year's show. And unlike last year, the match not only will have no time limit, but will also be a 2 out of 3 falls match. Dominion at Osaka-jo Hall will take place on the 9th of June. The Phoenix Police Department has concluded its investigation into the allegations that were made against Enzo Amore, real name Eric Ardent, and found that there is not enough evidence to go forward pressing charges. Tom Cargill, an attorney for Amore, issued a statement yesterday announcing that the police had informed Amore that the case is now closed. The allegations against Amore, which stemmed from last October, were made public on the 22nd of January, with him being suspended by the WWE that day, and then very quickly released from the company on the 23rd. Cargo claimed that Amore only learned of the accusations as they were posted online. Phoenix police confirmed that the case has been closed, but could be reopened if new evidence were to come to light. So really just, this is more news in the Amore case of the fact that he could have stuck around WWE had he let them know what was going on. And quickly, in the world of rumors, WWE is expected to do a ton of publicity related to Ronda Rousey and everything she does in the UK tour. So expect plenty of videos and highlights and huge social media push for her, as always. Some folks at the arena noted that Jeff Hardy appeared to have suffered some sort of injury before SmackDown Live this week in a dark match. James McKenna notes that when Emelina didn't quite work out, Vince McMahon insisted Mandy Rose would be perfect for that type of character. And based on the direction television's been going lately, it looks like that's basically where they're headed with Mandy. Too bad. PW Insider notes that WWE and Hulk Hogan have continued their discussions about a return. Said return does not appear to be imminent, but I'm sure it will happen at some point. And per Squared Circle Sirens, the WWE signed Stacy Irvin Jr., a gymnast who also is Simon Biles' boyfriend. And it's something that I just want to recommend you guys check out, powerbomb.tv. If you like independent wrestling and really want to just check out some really cool indie shows, they've got over 50 live streaming events and 1,250 hours of indie wrestling from 75 different promotions out there. I just found it. I'm loving it. It's really great for all those indie promotions that you otherwise wouldn't get to see. So check it out. That's your wrestling report for this morning.